Hello there, and welcome. Tonight, the world leans in softly, and you have found a quiet doorway wherever you are. Let this be a gentle invitation to slow, to ease the shoulders, soften the jaw, and let a long, calm breath wash through you. The earth around us moves with patient rhythms, tides that breathe, stones that remember, forests that whisper. For the next while, let your thoughts arrive like small drifting leaves and settle. The language you will hear is simple and true. Wrapped in quiet wonder, we will travel slowly, from shore to root, from deep dark trench to sky-swept plain, gathering small truth along the way. Each one is a hush, an observation meant to soothe curiosity and steady the mind. No rush, no urgency, only the soft certainty that life on this planet is endlessly inventive, resilient, and oddly tender. So find a comfortable place. Let the breath become a metronome. In, out, in, out. Allow the noises of the day to dim. Tonight, we stay grounded on Earth, listening to the ways it keeps itself alive, the ways it surprises and steadies us, and the tiny, patient miracles that pass like slow lanterns through the dark. Let us begin. Some jellyfish can turn back time. Drifting in warm seas, certain jellyfish carry a secret that reads like a fairy tale. When harmed or aged, they can fold themselves back into an earlier stage of life, unraveling their adult forms until what remains is a tiny polyp again, a beginning rather than an end. This is not a myth, but observed biology. Cells repattern, tissues reorganize, and life finds a way to start over. The image of a translucent bell pulsing in moonlit water becomes a quiet lesson. In nature, endings often hide beginnings, and what looks like finality can be a turn toward renewal. Beneath the forest floor, trees speak without words. Roots and fungal threads weave a slow network called the mycorrhizal web, a hidden conversation in which trees send sugars and warnings through filaments thinner than hair. Older trees sometimes feed the young, passing carbon like a quiet inheritance, while distant trunks warn neighbors of beetle or drought through chemical messages. It's not a language like ours, but it's a language nonetheless, a communal sharing that makes the forest less a collection of individuals and more a single breathing organism. Tiny water bears can brave the void of space. Tardigrades, microscopic and almost endearing, curl into a suspended state called cryptobiosis. When conditions grow hostile, they dry, their metabolism almost pauses, and time becomes an elastic thing. Launched into orbit in experiments, they returned alive, proof that life can persist in ways we scarcely imagined. In the hush of a microscope slide, these creatures remind us how small things can hold astonishing resilience. Billions of years ago, oxygen was poison. The air you draw now, cool and steady, was once a deadly contaminant to early life. When the cyanobacteria began to flood the seas with free oxygen, it triggered a world-changing transformation. Many forms perished, and new forms rose to take their place. The breath that keeps you alive is also the echo of that ancient upheaval, a reminder that what nourishes sometimes begins as something terrible, and that change can both destroy and create. Some plants are patient hunters. In swamps and peat bogs, carnivorous plants lure insects with nectar, scent, and perfectly timed traps. A Venus flytrap closes only after sensing motion twice, a simple counting mechanism that conserves energy and avoids foolish snaps. Pitcher plants and sundews trap and digest, turning scarcity into invention. In the quiet green of marshes, survival wears petals and patience. Each leaf is a tiny factory. Veins like rivers weave carbon and water. Stomata open and close like breath. And chlorophyll captures sunlight in a precise alchemy called photosynthesis. Some leaves follow the sun, others fold against frost, and all carry patterns as unique as fingerprints. Hold one up to the light and you see a landscape of function and form, where every pore and vein participates in the slow alchemy of life. Night tides can glow like a spilled galaxy. In certain bays and shorelines, plankton make light through a chemical conversation of luciferin and luciferase. A wave, a foot, a hand through the surf becomes a brushstroke of living blue. The sea, under the right watch, is a lantern-lit shore, and the phosphorescent shimmer is a quiet reminder that even darkness holds hidden radiance. We are walking ecosystems. Your skin, mouth, and gut are inhabited by trillions of microbes that help digest food, teach your immune system, and even shape moods. This microbiome is not a foreign host, but a partner woven into your daily life. You are as much community as individual, a walking, breathing ecosystem where many small lives home beside your own. Army ants build bridges out of bodies. When the jungle floor unravels into a gap, these insects link, clinging mandible to leg, forming living planks over which the colony passes. No single ant plans the bridge. It emerges from countless local choices. The result is a flexible, temporary architecture, a collective intelligence that performs like a single organism. An octopus rearranges more than color. In the deep blue, cephalopods play with the very scripts of life, editing RNA to fine-tune proteins without changing underlying DNA. It's a molecular flexibility that allows rapid response to temperature, stress, and sensation. The octopus's shifting skin, quick problem-solving, and fluid motion combine to feel almost like another kind of mind, reaching for expression beneath the waves. Some animals recognize themselves. Mirror tests reveal surprise in apes, dolphins, elephants, and a few birds. A touch at a marked spot while watching a reflection hints at a dawning sense of self. It's a quiet, partial mirror into how minds beyond our own might experience being, not human, but aware in their particular, mystery-laden ways. Life has survived and reformed through mass endings. Across deep time, the planet weathered catastrophic die-offs. Volcanoes, asteroids, and changing climates cleared the stage, and life, persistent and inventive, rose anew each time. From survivors came new shapes. From calamity came opportunity. The story of life is less a straight line than a series of rebirths, each one quiet and unlikely. Fungi sometimes act like puppeteers. Certain species send threads into insect hosts and subtly alter behavior so spores travel farther. It's a dark choreography of survival, where tiny biochemical signals steer bodies like marionettes. The forest hides both tenderness and a more ruthless economy of life. Blue is often a trick of structure. Many creatures that seem painted in blue owe their color to microscopic surface patterns that scatter light. True blue pigments are rare, so evolution makes color by shaping scale and feather and film. When you see a flash of blue, you're witnessing light shaped by geometry, a collaboration of physics and life. Elephants carry quiet grief. When they encounter bones or the remains of companions, their movements slow. They touch and linger, sometimes returning to the same place again and again. Their behavior suggests memory and feeling beyond survival routines, a tender, solemn recognition of loss that feels familiar to any heart that has known farewell. Reefs are cities built by small hands, coral animals, tiny polyps, extract calcium carbonate to build the stony structure that shelters whole ecosystems. Over ages, their collective labor creates reefs that host fish, crustaceans, turtles, and more. These underwater cities, though fragile, are brilliant demonstrations of how patient repetition constructs complexity. Slime molds find the shortest path with no brain at all. Spread across a maze, they explore, retract, and leave behind the most efficient route between food sources. It's a living algorithm, a lesson in how simple processes, iterated and fed back, can produce what looks like intelligence. The Amazon breathes its own rain. Trees pull moisture from the ground and release it through leaves, creating vapor that will condense and return as rain. This enormous loop sustains weather patterns and keeps vast landscapes green. When the forest thins, so does the sky's generosity. The rhythm of transpiration is the heartbeat of a continent. Some frogs sleep inside ice and wake again. Certain species endure freezing winters by producing antifreeze molecules that protect cells while the body stiffens into ice. When warmth returns, life resumes as if in a slow blink. These frogs carry a survival trick that whispers of possibilities for medicine and preservation. Whales sing songs that travel like slow tides. Low, long calls slip through the ocean for miles, carrying messages of location, longing, and lineage. Populations develop dialects and pass tunes along like lullabies. In the dark highways of the sea, sound becomes a map and a memory. Seeds are patient timekeepers. Buried or dry, seeds wait, sometimes for centuries, until the right conditions coax them back to life. A date seed sprouted after 2 millennia and became a living thread connecting ancient hands to present sun. Seeds hold the promise of return. Glows of life have evolved again and again. Bioluminescence appears across branches of life, from bacteria to squid to fungi. The same chemistry, luciferin and its partner, is recombined into myriad uses. Lure, camouflage, communication. The night becomes a language lit by living points. The calcium in your bones was once starfire. Heavy elements were forged in ancient stars and scattered by supernovae. Those atoms drifted and gathered into planets, oceans, and life. When you press your hand to your chest, you touch a composition older than Earth's continents. Stardust arranged into a body that remembers the light. Many insects see ultraviolet patterns we can't. Flowers paint landing guides in UV to direct pollinators. To bees, nature's visual world includes shimmering signs invisible to human eyes. It's a reminder that shared space contains hidden dimensions, and that other minds navigate with the senses we can only imagine. Kangaroos can pause a pregnancy. In dry, uncertain seasons, embryonic development in some marsupials can halt until conditions improve. This biological pause button lets life time its next arrival with striking prudence. In coral reefs, some fish change sex as needed. Social structures and survival call for flexibility. When a dominant fish disappears, another may transform in body and role, altering hormones and organs to fill the vacancy. In these waters, identity can flow with circumstance. Birds read the planet's gentle magnetic script. Tiny crystals and light-sensitive proteins help many species feel Earth's magnetic field. With this internal compass, birds cross continents and find home. With uncanny precision, the world offers a map, and those attuned take the road. Carbon cycles like soft breathing. Carbon travels through air, water, soil, and life in a slow exchange that shapes climate and growth. When this flow becomes unbalanced, the breathing changes, reminding us that the planet's pulse can be altered by our acts. Bacteria were among Earth's first builders. Stromatolites, layered rock-like forms, are the fossil echo of microbial engineering that shaped early seas and atmospheres. Tiny life created the conditions that allowed the rest to flourish. Dolphins call one another by signature whistles. These acoustic names travel through blue expanses, recognized and answered. A playful, social intelligence hums beneath waves, and in those calls, we hear a hint of community and memory. Once green sands tell of a different climate. The Sahara held lakes, rivers, and forests. When orbital rhythms brought more monsoon to the land, what we now consider desert was at times a green, watery country. A reminder that landscapes are stories written in slow climate ink. Bees conceptualize zero, trained to associate fewer shapes with reward. They can choose a blank card over ones with shapes, indicating an understanding of none. Small minds sometimes reach surprising heights. When wolves returned to valleys, rivers reshaped themselves. Predators influence prey and plant life in cascading ways. And in Yellowstone, the reintroduction of wolves led to taller riverbank vegetation, returning beavers and changing water flows. Ecosystems are sensitive webs where one presence ripples outward. Flowers respond to the sound of a bee's wings. The vibration of a pollinator can cause nectar to sweeten. An acoustic dance that times reward with arrival. Petals become instruments of invitation. Lichens are layered partnerships that colonize stone and bark. A quiet alliance between fungus and photosynthetic partner that endures where single lives might fail. They are slow artists, painting resilient patches across exposed surfaces. Some worms rebuild everything. Flatworms can regenerate whole bodies from fragments. A biological generosity of repair that teaches how life can return from division and stillness. The ocean holds more life than land. In a single drop, a world of organisms swims. Plankton, microbes, larvae. The sea is an immense theater of tiny actors that keep global systems humming. Creatures have specialized tricks for cold and heat. Icefish carry antifreeze proteins in blood. Extremophile microbes savor boiling springs and acid pools. Life stretches to occupy places we would think impossible, inventing chemistries and structures that make survival a continuous experiment. Plants run nightly arithmetic. As daylight fades, leaves and stems ration their starch to last till dawn. A biochemical counting that ensures slow, steady survival through darkness. Even in quiet, living things plan. Owls fly as if stitched from shadow. Feather edges and velvety surfaces break turbulence and muffle sound, letting them hunt with a silence that feels like enchantment. Stealth becomes a material quality of feather and motion. Some birds sleep on the wing, letting half a brain rest while the other steers. In long flights over ocean, sleep and motion coexist in a slow duet, a vigilance that allows rest without surrender. Cuttlefish paint themselves away with cells that change texture and reflect light. They become moving canvases, shifting patterns that hide, signal, and charm. Even colorblind, they tune contrast and polarization to match the world. The moon orchestrates coral spawning. Lunar rhythms cue reefs to release gametes in synchronized clouds. A nightly chorus of beginnings that rely on tides and light to knit new generations into the sea. Plants warn one another through scent. When grazed upon, Some send volatile signals that prime neighbors into defensive chemistry. The garden is a community of alerts and responses. Some trees are one organism spread across trunks. Clonal colonies like ancient aspens send up stems from a single root system, living through centuries as a collective of trunks that share a single life. Earthworms rewrite the soil. Their tunneling aerates, their digestion returns nutrients, and their slow mixing creates the foundation for forests and farms alike. Hidden laborers beneath your feet shape the surface world. There are fungi that stretch for miles under forests, a single organism in reach and age beyond our ordinary scale. These fungal networks weave connections beneath the trees, hidden architects of decay and renewal. Bees learn by watching. Social learning dances across tiny minds. Observation becomes innovation as one individual copies and improves another's trick. Ideas, like nectar, pass from body to body. Some fish walk across mud and climb roots, breathing through skin and mouth linings while exploring the boundary between water and air. These amphibious wanderers hint at the ancient route life once took from sea to land. When floods come, some ants float as one. Fire ants link into living rafts, trapping air and the saving queens and brood. A buoyant lifeboat made of hundreds of beating bodies. Collective survival becomes architecture made from touch. A drop of seawater can be a cosmos of motion, microscopic and luminous. In that tiny sphere, life cycles run quick and slow, building the massive web that supports whales and waves alike. And now, as the list of small miracles has unfurled like a ribbon across the world, let the pace slow to nearly nothing. Breathe and notice the quiet in your own chest, the soft machinery of lungs and blood that pairs you with trees, with tides, with lightning and leaf, the planet's long rhythms, seasons, tides, migrations, are patient coaches for a hurried mind. Earth does not hurry. Mountains rise and fall across epochs. Rivers carve patient arcs. Seeds sleep and awaken in seasons that often pass unnoticed by our calendars. If you listen, you will hear a steady intelligence, not a plan, but a persistence, a tendency toward renewal that runs beneath catastrophe and comfort alike. Tonight, as you lie in stillness, imagine the slow conversations of roots, the tiny negotiations of microbes, the long memory of stones warmed by sun. Imagine a reed listening to the footfalls of rain, an ocean holding the songs of whales. Like letters folded into blue, you are part of this cadence, a small but sincere note in a symphony that has no conductor and is nevertheless precise. Your breath matches the planet's slow respiration. Your heart keeps time with rhythms older than language. Let your thoughts soften at the edges. Allow wonder to be the last bright thing you carry into sleep. There is solace in continuity, that life rewrites itself, that coral and fungus and tiny microbes carry on when storms pass, that compassion and curiosity are also forms of attention that keep the world vivid. In this quiet, remember that being alive is to be both fragile and astonishingly persistent. You belong to the long, unhurried experiment of Earth. And now, with the final fact folded like a small paper boat and set into calm water, let the world grow still around you. Allow your breath to lengthen. Each exhale a small release. The journey pauses here. The planet keeps breathing. Sleep, gently and without apology, for you are part of this pattern of endurance and renewal. Sleep well and thank you for dreaming with us. Under a quiet cloak of stars, Earth spins in silence. The gentle blue marble is the third planet from the sun, the only world we know that cradles living things. It is unique among its neighbors, because here water stays liquid on the surface. Dawn breaks over oceans and forests alike. Each sunrise wraps continents in light and warmth. In this way, our Earth hums softly with life each new day, carrying every creature gently on its curve. Night and day entwine softly as Earth turns on her axis. Each full rotation takes about 23.9 hours. So every place on Earth wakes and sleeps in gentle rhythm. In 1 year, roughly 365.25 of those turns, we feel the quiet dance of seasons and the need for a leap day to keep calendars true. This slow cycle of sunrise and sunset happens with comforting regularity. Each dawn always returns to the same place, and every sunset peacefully yields to the night, carrying the world through time with calm predictability. Over the year, Earth's tilt whispers of summer and winter. The planet's axis tilts about 23.4 degrees. So sometimes the northern hemisphere leans closer to the sun, and sometimes the southern does. When the north tilts toward the sun, those lands bask in summer warmth, while the south cools under winter night. 6 months later, they swap roles. NASA explains it simply. Earth's tilted axis creates the seasons. This leaning never rushes. It only slowly shifts which half of Earth sees direct sunshine, quietly weaving the gentle cycle we call the seasons. Wrapped in an invisible cocoon, Earth's iron heart powers a vast magnetic field. This magnetosphere forms a protective bubble that deflects the solar wind and shields our air. When energetic particles sneak past, they collide with the polar skies and paint shimmering auroras overhead. These northern and southern lights glow gently as electrons rain down from space, telling us of this silent dance at the edge of our atmosphere. Gentle as breath, the ocean heaves in time with the moon's tug. Every day, the moon's gravity raises twin bulges of water on opposite sides of Earth. As our shores pass under a bulge, the tide rises. Passing between them, it falls. Twice each lunar month, sun and moon align to amplify this motion. Spring tides make the waves higher and the lows lower. At other times, they balance to produce softer ebb tides. In this way, the sea itself seems to inhale and exhale quietly under the moon's calm guidance. Beneath our feet, Earth hides a blazing heart. At its center lies a solid inner core of iron and nickel, a sphere over 100 kilometers wide that glows at about 90 feet at 110 degrees, 5,400 degrees. Around this core swirls an ocean of molten metal, roughly 2,300 kilometers thick. Together, these layers form a deep furnace, powering the planet's magnetism and warming its interior. Though too hot to touch or hear, this inner heat provides the steady, gentle energy that sustains Earth's hidden processes. Over all this fire lies a sluggish sea of rock, the mantle. Nearly 2,900 kilometers thick, it flows so slowly it behaves like soft caramel. Atop the mantle is Earth's crust, a fragile shell only about 30 kilometers thick on continents and 3 to 5 kilometers under the oceans. We live on this crust, warmed from below by the endless silent stew beneath. Day and night tell us almost nothing of the heat below, only the occasional geyser or quiet volcano. reminds us that the Earth's interior is still warm and ever moving. Even the ground beneath us is in motion, though we never feel it. The crust is broken into tectonic plates that glide imperceptibly atop the molten layers below. For example, one of these plates, the North American plate, slides westward at roughly the speed our fingernails grow. Where plates bump together, rock buckles and folds into mountain ranges, or grinds past for gentle earthquakes. We only notice in hindsight because all this movement occurs so slowly. In this way, even mighty Mount Everest exists by the patient pushing of Earth's plates over eons. Some mountains hum with the slow joy of growth. When continents collide, the crust lifts rock miles high, but at a rate barely perceptible in a human lifetime. On land, each mountain range captures a quiet history in its layers. Underwater, Earth has a hidden range longer than all continents combined. The mid-ocean ridge snakes continuously across the seafloor, forging new rock. These peaks rise millimeter by millimeter, but together they stretch around the globe. A gentle, massive monument built in silence. In their sleep, volcanoes are mountains dreaming of fire. Most of Earth's volcanoes actually slumber beneath the sea. A famous one peeks out as Hawaii's Mauna Kea. From its Pacific base to summit, it is taller than Everest. When volcanoes awaken, they often flow lava like slow rivers, quietly adding new land. Their hot breath fertilizes soil and shapes islands, yet usually in a soft smolder rather than a roar. In that way, volcanoes subtly reshape our world over centuries, adding to Earth's form by patient, warming flows. The oceans pulse like a giant blue heart. They cover about 71% of Earth's surface and hold 97% of its water. On average, these waters are 2.3 miles deep. The sea feels vast and calm. Waves lap the shores in steady rhythm. Tides rise and fall with lunar breath, and currents flow far below our sight. In this watery realm, life thrives quietly in coral forests and deep canyons. The horizon where water meets sky is always moving, a constant reminder that most of Earth is soft, flowing water, gentle and ever-shifting. Beneath warm tropical waves lies a city of life. The Great Barrier Reef sprawls over 1,429 miles along Australia's coast, making it the largest living structure on Earth. To an astronaut, it is a pale ribbon visible from space. Each reef grows slowly, layer by tiny layer, as billions of coral animals build their stony home. Over centuries, the reef becomes a silent metropolis. Fish, turtles, and myriad creatures drift among its pastel towers. In this way, the reef is a gentle giant of the sea. Green speckled foam atop the waves are Earth's lungs. Here, floating at the surface, tiny phytoplankton perform vast deeds. Each microscopic alga captures carbon dioxide and releases oxygen, acting like the planet's own green leaves. In fact, these plankton produce about half of the world's oxygen. They bloom under the sun in brilliant greens and blues, coloring the ocean and supporting life below. These trillions of tiny organisms fill the waters with life and breath, reminding us that even the smallest green dot can sustain the world. Green forests exhale life as they stand vigilant. On land, scientists estimate there are about 3.04 trillion trees. Each tree soaks up sunlight in its leaves and quietly turns carbon dioxide into oxygen. Oak, pine, maple, bamboo. Each sapling grows imperceptibly taller over decades, Together, these 3 trillion trees blanket the continents with green. They rustle gently in the breeze, shading the ground and drinking the rain. Each dawn, countless leaves reach for sunlight, and each dusk they close, a vast living tapestry that gives us fresh air with every quiet breath. In every forest, a spectrum of green reaches skyward. Researchers have even mapped Earth's woods by height. Near the equator, some forests soar over 50 meters tall, while other regions hold more modest groves. In protected reserves, the tallest giants rise. In woodlands and parks, smaller trees cluster. Walk beneath these towering crowns and feel the calm. Light filters through a soft green canopy, and the forest stands as pillars supporting the sky. Together, forests are pillars of the earth, each leaf a silent witness to sunrise and starlight. The air itself is an invisible tapestry of life-sustaining gas. It is 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen, just the right mix to let us breathe comfortably. Every breath you take draws from this gentle mix. This thin blanket also weaves our weather and holds clouds high above the surface. It even shields us. It absorbs harmful solar rays and turns tiny meteoroids into harmless shooting stars. By day, we feel its breeze on our skin. By night, we trust its quiet silence. Each moment, Earth is cradled in this soft, life-giving air. Falling stars are just fireflies of space. When grains of cosmic dust strike the atmosphere, they burn up in fiery streaks of light. These meteors, shooting stars, flash and fade, never reaching the ground. You might see dozens on a clear night. Tiny sparks of the universe. They wink and vanish without sound, offering a sky full of gentle twinkles. Earth's sky is peaceful. Each meteor fades to black without a whisper, a serene reminder of the vast cosmos surrounding us. Rivers and clouds are Earth's quiet veins and arteries. The oceans hold 97% of our water, and from them evaporate about 86% of all moisture. Sunlight warms the sea, a vapor cloak forms, and rain eventually falls. Most of the rain, about 78%, returns to the ocean, closing the loop in a slow, endless circuit. The rest waters the land, feeds streams and aquifers, then drifts back as clouds. This gentle cycle, evaporation, clouds, rain, rivers, ties sky, sea, and soil together. It is Earth's silent heartbeat, in which every drop of water endlessly circulates. Even so, Earth's water is mostly salt and snow. Of all Earth's water, only about 2.5% is fresh and drinkable. The rest is briny ocean, and much of that precious fresh water is locked in ice or underground. Only a tiny sliver nourishes rivers and lakes. Imagine a simple stream running by your home is one of the rare sources of fresh water on the planet. Yet Earth's clever balance keeps it flowing. Clouds and precipitation continue to refill rivers and wells slowly, ensuring that even this small supply is constantly renewed. And through it all, Earth goes by a name, meaning simply the ground beneath our feet. Unlike other planets named for gods, Earth comes from old words meaning land and soil. It is a humble name for such a wondrous world. Whenever you feel safe here under the stars, remember that your home is literally called the ground. A reminder that all of this gentle science is happening just beneath where you lie. With air above, soil below, and sky around, you are firmly held by Earth's simple grace. In the sweep of time, even Earth's shields will one day reverse, But that change is so slow it won't disturb you tonight. The magnetic poles wander and, over hundreds of thousands of years, will flip direction. Right now, the North Pole is drifting calmly, and compasses still agree on where to point. These reversals are nature's quiet whimsy, not a warning to us. So, as you drift into sleep, know that Earth's steady truth remains unchanged. Its spin and seasons endure reliably. Its forests and seas breathe oxygen, and its waters cycle endlessly. All these scientific whispers form a soft melody, carrying you safely down into rest on the gentle lullaby of our home planet. Even as you sleep, Earth itself moves serenely in space. It soars around the sun at about 67,000 miles per hour, a wondrous speed, yet unnoticed from the ground. Because everything on Earth shares that motion, we feel as still as if on a calm lake. Above, stars drift across the sky at their own pace. In this cosmic dance, Earth hums along quietly. Its truths remain constant. Earth formed about 4.5 billion years ago. Life took root in its oceans, and the clock of day and night has been turning since the first dawn. As these facts settle in like a warm blanket, Earth's gentle truths lull you ever deeper toward sleep. In the hush of twilight, as the world softens into shades of dream, we gather here to drift gently into sleep. Picture the earth spread out below, like a vast, peaceful blanket, rippling with forests, oceans, and mountains. Resting under a starry sky, the day grows quiet and the restless world slows. Clouds drift lazily across a deep blue canvas, and far away, the oceans rock us with calm breaths. Each rustling leaf and each gentle wave is a lullaby, inviting the senses to rest. Close your eyes and breathe. Feel the breeze of the evening whisper softly through tall pine trees and over rolling valleys. Smell the sweet, earthy scent of rain-soaked soil and the salt-kissed air of the distant sea. The world is settling down for the night, and with every moment, your mind grows lighter and your body more relaxed. In this deep quiet, the earth begins to speak, murmuring ancient secrets and poetic truths in the language of nature. Each truth is a gentle fact, a piece of knowledge woven into the fabric of our planet's lullaby. There are 100 of them, mystical and true, like stardust on the wind. As you listen, let these sleepy truths carry you further into tranquility, each one a gentle guide deeper into dreams. The night is long and soothing, and now we begin our journey through 100 mysteries of the earth, whispered softly into the darkness. Under this vast sky, you might even see distant galaxies twinkling faintly, as if curious stars whisper softly above you. Grounded by the gentle rhythm of nightfall, you are safe and peaceful, part of this grand story of earth and sky. In a few moments, as sleep drifts in, we will explore 100 gentle truths about this blue world we call home. In the quiet canvas of night, Earth turns gently, a pale blue orb cradled by the infinite cosmos, spinning slowly. This world is unlike any other. It is the only home to oceans, air, and life. Even as we rest, the planet dances through space, rotating once every day, carrying us from daylight into night and back again. Year by year, it circles our sun, drifting through spring and summer, autumn and winter, in a steady rhythm of seasons. High above, the single moon smiles softly in the sky. Beneath your feet, Earth holds a fiery heart, Deep inside its center, molten iron glows as hot as the surface of the sun. From there, that warmth seeps outward, fueling volcanoes that rise like ancient beasts, breathing steam. A gentle truth: the outer crust you stand on is cracked into massive plates. They float slowly on a silky interior, bumping to raise mountain ranges or sinking to form ocean trenches. Everywhere, Earth is moving, but so slowly that we hardly feel its motion. Between mountain peaks and valleys, rivers carve winding paths through the land. These quiet streams carry water from high places to the seas below, singing gentle lullabies as they flow. The oceans themselves cradle life in every drop. Beneath the waves, coral reefs bloom like underwater gardens, and tiny creatures glow at night like stars in the deep. Over 97% of all water lives under the sea, where creatures unknown whisper secrets in the darkness. All around the globe, Earth's atmosphere wraps us like a thin blanket of air. It holds 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen, the perfect breath for every living thing, and shields us from harm. This breath we take was once the green gift of a leaf. The atmosphere also paints the sky. Clouds drift lazily by day, sometimes spilling rain to feed the world. When storms gather, they rumble softly before bursting, for even thunder on Earth is rarely fierce, and each minute thousands of lightning sparks dance across the sky like fireflies, each one a quick hello from the depths of a storm. Under open skies, the show of lights is endless. At sunset, the horizon blushes pink and gold, signaling day's end. By night, the northern and southern skies sometimes dance with ribbons of green and violet. The auroras, sparked by the sun's solar wind, meeting Earth's magnetic shield. Far above, stars shimmer quietly. Even shooting meteors burn up as brief streaks, each one a tiny messenger from space saying goodnight. Forests stand across continents, breathing stories through their leaves. The tallest trees, giants of wood, have stood for millennia, quietly watching epochs pass. They inhale carbon and exhale the oxygen that fills our lungs. Beneath them, roots and fungi connect in secret networks, sharing food and life in the soil. In the silence of night, forests come alive with hushed sounds. Crickets singing, frogs croaking, and leaves rustling in a soft symphony of life. Even underfoot, the soil is alive. Earthworms and microbes slowly turn fallen leaves into rich loam, giving strength to the next generation of plants. Mountains wear snow like blankets. Rivers gather glacial melt to greet spring. Deserts dream beneath starlight. Dunes remain cool, awaiting a rare rain that will spark life from slumber. Dawn after rain brings rainbows arching across the sky, bridging earth to sky in gentle color. Day after day, Earth repeats its cycles in quiet harmony. Each sunrise breathes life into fields and forests. Each sunset calms the land. Life at any moment carries on because Earth is so patient. Oceans may rise and fall, glaciers advance and retreat, continents shift imperceptibly. Even the smallest creatures, ants on a leaf, a fish in the sea, a bird on the wing, trust these rhythms as they sleep and wake. Ancient as it is, Earth is mindful of the present. Its silent pulse can be heard in waves lapping at the shore, in wind through a meadow, in the distant call of whales. By lying still and listening, you share its quiet heartbeat. The air you breathe, the ground you feel, the sky above. I'll remind you that you share a home with every living thing. Each star in the sky, every blade of grass, holds a quiet promise of peace. Now, as your eyelids grow heavy, picture the entire world embracing night. Imagine continents and oceans dimming gently, mountains standing tall in the dark, forests folding into rest. The words you've heard now settle in. 100 truths that form a cozy quilt around your mind. Let them weave into dreams like threads of moonlight, each softness lulling you further. Under the gentle glow of dawn, our blue world begins another orbit. Cradled 93 million miles from the sun, we wake to golden rays spilling across the seas. Yet our journey through space feels like a soft, endless waltz. Though Earth moves at over 1,000 miles per hour around its axis, from any resting corner of the world, it seems perfectly still. Each sunrise and sunset meld into one great lullaby of light. For each gentle turn, life stirs. One hemisphere basks in dawn's warmth, while the other rests under night's soothing cloak. The sky above wears calm blues and pinks, painted as if by a dreamy watercolor. Our planet hums with a peaceful heart, a steady pulse weaving day into night across the globe. And through each turn, Earth carries us in slow, peaceful seasons. Cradled by a gentle tilt, Earth drifts into its seasonal waltz. Each turn through space brings a shift of light. Spring's soft warmth unfolds into summer's gentle haze, then yields to autumn's gold before winter's velvet curtain descends. This tilt is subtle, only about 23.5 degrees, but it transforms day length and the sun's strength. Summer days stretch longer and coax blooms to open. As shadows grow, soft snows begin to blanket quiet fields. Gentle breezes start to carry the scent of blossoms or wood smoke, as if following the sun's own melody. Under this slow shift, all life senses a change, quietly lulled into new dreams each time Earth bends toward or away from the sun. And when night's veil finally falls, Earth's great oceans begin their own quiet melody. As darkness deepens, the great oceans breathe out lullabies in gentle waves. Under the quiet light of the moon, each shoreline feels a soft pull. The moon's distant tug draws tides that ebb and flow with a peaceful rhythm, whispering stories onto sandy shores. Beneath the surface, deep ocean currents move slowly, a silent dance of warmth and cold that carries life's pulse around the globe. These currents nourish forests and wetlands. From them arise morning mists, as if the land itself were inhaling the ocean's quiet song. On still nights, calm seas mirror the starry sky, as if Earth were dreaming constellations into the water. Beneath that starry blanket, Earth hums a secret lullaby of its own. In the quiet of night, scientists have even recorded Earth's gentle hum, a secret song around 7.8 cycles per second, known as the Schumann resonance. This very low electromagnetic melody is born of distant lightning and storms now past. Though inaudible to our ears, this hidden heartbeat of the planet pulses steadily in the air. On calm nights, if you listen with imagination, you might almost feel it. A faint, throbbing calm weaving through the air, gone unnoticed by day. This gentle global drum has been called the Earth's own lullaby. It's as if the Earth itself is breathing slowly, a reminder that our world is alive, even in its deepest sleep. In the hushed forest gloaming, ancient trees breathe quietly with the world. Under gentle starlight, Leaves exhale dew and tiny spores into the air, sighing sweet life into the darkness. Deep beneath their trunks, roots stretch through a hidden network of mushrooms and fungi, a secret web carrying water and whispers in the soil. Through this sunless chatter, trees share nutrients and memories of seasons past, softly whispering to one another through earth and root. For a moment, the whole wood stands as a sleeping giant in the night. As leaves flutter like soft lullabies, the woods seems to listen in silence. As the forest listens beyond it, the fields begin to gently flicker. As twilight drapes the fields in shadow, tiny sparks begin to dance among the grasses. Fireflies awaken for a secret celebration of lights. Each blink is like a distant star come down to earth, flickering wishes in the cool air. The meadow can seem alight with their fairy fire, an earthly galaxy of green and gold drifting gently under the night sky. Even the sky above is mirrored below in these glowing trails. Each blink tells a quiet story. Their gentle rhythm becomes a lullaby of its own. Watching them twirl slowly feels like witnessing a heartbeat made of light, a soft, periodic pulse that soothes the soul. Under the endless night sky, the seas fill with gardens of light. The deep ocean has its own lullaby. Trillions of tiny plankton, stirred by the waves, burst into gentle blue flames. On the surface beneath the silver moon, every ripple seems dotted with sapphire stars. Fishermen whisper that the water feels like liquid sky. Even in shallow bays, each step can wake this deep sparkle, tracing a glowing trail in the water. In this quiet display, the ocean hums its own lullaby, mirroring the galaxy above, lapping gently at our feet with starry light. And so, even the vast seas join in Earth's silent symphony at night. Beneath the gentle moonlight, great wanderers follow ancient paths. Monarch butterflies drift across continents, trusting the pale moonbeams to guide their way home through the cool night air. Caribou stride steadily through snowy forests under starlight, their seasonal journey a centuries-old lullaby of life on the move. Far out at sea, humpback whales rise to exhale misty breaths into the dark sky, venting soft clouds that fade into the night. Under a frost-laced sky, they sing deep, ancient songs that drift through the ocean like a lullaby for the seas. Each of these creatures moves to a rhythm older than memory, in harmony with Earth's own patterns of time and tide. In this grand nocturne, even Earth herself stirs softly beneath our feet. Deep within the sleeping Earth, ancient forces work their quiet magic. Beneath oceans and forests, volcanoes lie dormant like great fiery giants, slowly building strength under blankets of rock and water. Many will lie sleeping for centuries, quietly forging new minerals and rich soils deep within their hidden chambers. When one finally wakes, it does so gently, as though stretching awake. Molten rivers of orange light seep out and flow across the land. Over time, these rivers cool into solid rock, creating new mountains and islands in the silence. And far to the poles, colossal glaciers also slumber and slowly reshape the world in ice, as if fire and ice are both crafting Earth's quiet rebirth. Around the frozen poles, ancient glaciers dream in quiet blue. Huge rivers of ice inch steadily across endless valleys, carving the land in silence over millennia. Each layer of snow that falls is pressed down and frozen, becoming a page in Earth's own chronicle of past winters. When the sun's gentle warmth returns, small crystal streams trickle forth, a tender gift of liquid life from the sleeping ice. Under the midnight sun or the polar night, these ice giants barely move at all, as if they too are lulled to sleep in Earth's quiet chorus of time. Even these glaciers, solid and silent, carry every element born in distant stars within their ancient hold. Beneath the velvet darkness of night, a gentle truth whispers, we are all stardust. The calcium in our bones and the iron in our blood were forged in the fiery hearts of ancient stars. Every element of life on Earth was born in those distant furnaces long ago. When we look up at the constellations, we are gazing into the nursery of our planet's beginnings. This cosmic origin is Earth's softest lullaby, the reminder that our home is part of a much larger, silent universe. Cradled on this blue world, we sleep under skies of stardust, feeling at peace in the endless night. Beneath the moonlit waves, dolphins drift into gentle half-sleep. Unlike humans, they rest with one eye open and only half their brain turned off at once. One hemisphere sleeps while the other remains alert, a clever adaptation that lets them surface for air and watch for companions even while dreaming. Often together in small pods, they form gentle circles as they float, drifting through dark waters like soft sailors of the night. In their sleepy dance, each dolphin takes turns watching over the others as the ocean cradles them softly. Under the endless stars, the sea becomes a nursery of quiet dreams. Beneath the warm sun, the forest works its gentle alchemy. Each leaf soaks up light and transforms it into food, releasing fresh oxygen as a gift. Golden rays filter through the canopy, silently fueling this life-giving process. In every quiet grove, millions of leaves breathe in carbon dioxide and exhale the air we need. With each gentle breath you take, know that somewhere a tree is sharing its life with you. The forest becomes one great living lung for the planet, softly breathing out the oxygen that fills our lungs. Nature's promise that as the trees breathe, so do we. Ancient mountains stand as silent guardians under the sky. At dawn, their snowy peaks blush a soft pink before fading into golden daylight. In spring, their slopes awaken with wildflowers. Summer brings warm breezes through pine forests. In autumn, they glow with bronze and fire before winter cloaks them in quiet white. Though these stone giants rarely move, they too live in seasons. Each year's cycle is written on their slopes, a silent story in stone that spans the ages of Earth. As twilight falls, the mountains seem to quietly sleep under the moon, and high above their peaks, the stars begin their nightly watch, companions to these ancient giants. Some deserts whisper in colors. At first glance, deserts may seem empty, but if you listen softly, they speak in silken tones of gold, amber, and rose. The sands shift with wind, drawing gentle ripples like waves across a still ocean. At dawn, these ripples catch pale lavender light. At dusk, they burn with sleepy oranges and blood-red hues. Some deserts bloom when rain falls, and in one magical night, the silence bursts into color. Cacti open their sleepy mouths to reveal bright petals, and dormant seeds awaken in joy. Even in stillness, deserts pulse with patient life, slow and hidden, waiting for just the right moment to exhale. Some stones remember starlight. Crystals form in Earth's darkest chambers, growing silently over centuries. A single quartz may sleep beneath the ground for thousands of years, slowly shaping its clarity and form. Geodes hide beauty in rough shells, like secret dreams tucked inside ordinary days. And in ancient caves, stalactites drip and grow one breath at a time. Every stone you touch was forged by time, by pressure, by heat, but also by stillness. When you hold a stone, you're holding something that once listened to the planet's early breath. It is a quiet witness to eons now resting in your hand. The wind carries stories across the world. Wind begins with sunlight, warming the earth unevenly, setting air into motion. What starts as a whisper in the grass becomes a breeze over hills, a strong gust over mountains, and a high current drifting across oceans. Wind weaves through forests and gathers scents. Lavender from the fields, salt from the sea, pine from the highlands. Migrating birds ride its currents, following invisible paths stitched into the sky. And when it reaches your window at night, it brings with it the voices of trees, waves, and sky, reminding you that everything is connected, even in rest. Clouds are the sky's lullabies. They drift slowly, as if painted in motion. Cirrus clouds whisper high and thin, like delicate brushstrokes. Cumulus clouds puff and tumble like sleeping sheep, and thunderclouds, when heavy with emotion, rumble gently before crying soft silver rain. Each drop returns to earth with purpose, to nourish, to flow, to join rivers and lakes once more. Sometimes, at the edge of day, clouds turn coral, gold, and lavender, bidding the sun goodbye with a final hush. Watching them from bed, you might feel as if the sky is reading you a bedtime story, one page at a time. There are forests beneath the sea. Kelp forests rise from the ocean floor, stretching toward the sun like underwater trees. Their long fronds sway with the tide, sheltering otters, fish, and tiny glowing creatures. Sunlight filters down in beams, making it look like a cathedral of green. These submerged woodlands, slow waves, feed ecosystems and gently oxygenate the water. Just like forests on land, they hum with invisible life. Somewhere in the silence of the deep, an otter wraps itself in a strand of kelp and drifts to sleep. And so, the ocean dreams beneath its own canopy. The earth glows softly in the dark. You might not see it with the naked eye, but the earth emits its own warmth. Infrared light, invisible to us, shimmers from every stone, tree, and body. During the day, Earth soaks up sunlight like a warm quilt. At night, it releases that warmth in whispers. Satellite images show our world, not just in blue and green, but in quiet reds and purples. Like embers under ash, cities glow faintly. Forests release the sun's memory. Even mountains hum with slow heat. In the darkness, Earth never stops glowing. It only dims itself gently for your rest. Snow is the sky falling asleep. Each flake begins as a crystal, formed in chilled clouds high above. It falls softly, tumbling through wind and silence, gathering shape and elegance. No two flakes are the same, and yet all share the same quiet purpose: to blanket the earth in stillness. When snow gathers, sound itself hushes. Roads go quiet, rooftops blur, and the world grows round and soft. Beneath that snowy veil, trees nap, seeds slumber, and animals tuck into cozy dens. Winter becomes a cradle, and snow the softest lullaby, layering the land in pure, sleepy white. The ground drinks rain like a bedtime tea. After long days of sun, The first rain smells like relief, petrichor, the earthy scent of fresh rain on dry soil, rises as a soft breath from the ground. The soil opens up to sip each drop, absorbing water with gratitude. Tiny roots stretch like fingers to catch the moisture. Beneath the surface, life stirs in damp darkness. Worms turn the soil, seeds unfurl, and fungi bloom in ghostly lace. What seems like a simple storm is, for the earth, a sacred pause, a time to drink, to listen, and to grow. Some rivers forget their destination. They meander through the land in lazy curves, doubling back on themselves as if lost in thought. These oxbow rivers aren't in a hurry. They let the landscape shape them. Over years, they change course, carve new paths, or leave behind quiet ponds as memories. Along their banks, frogs croak lullabies and reeds whisper with the wind. Even without rushing, these rivers find their way, proving that even slow things move forward. As you drift in dreams, you too are following a river within, toward some peaceful place you don't need to name. And some truths are never spoken aloud, only felt in the stillness between heartbeats. When you close your eyes and listen, truly listen, you can feel the earth beneath you, like a gentle presence. It doesn't speak in words, but in warmth, in gravity, in breath. It supports you without asking, turns without thanks, grows life without rest. As you lie here, wrapped in quiet, the earth continues, spinning, glowing, dreaming, and you are a part of its sleep, one tiny heartbeat in its grand lullaby. Some trees remember the wind, stand near an ancient tree, and you may feel it, not just age, but memory. Each ring in its trunk is a soft-pressed story of summers and winters, of storms and quiet skies. The wind that bends its branches tonight once brushed against the same bark decades ago. Over time, trees grow in the direction the wind most often flows, shaped by it, but not broken. In sleep, they sway ever so gently, like rocking cradles rooted in the soil. They whisper in creaks and rustles, telling bedtime tales to leaves, birds, and the stars above. There are mountains beneath the sea, taller than any on land, while Everest stands proud above the clouds. Hidden beneath the ocean's surface are peaks even taller, rising from the seafloor in silent grandeur. Mauna Kea in Hawaii, when measured from base to summit, towers over Everest, but most of it lies underwater, cloaked in shadow and wave. These mountains grow from volcanic birth, layer by layer, year by year. Some will never see the sky. Still, they shape ocean currents, stir marine life, and hold Earth's deeper secrets. In their silence, they hold stories not yet spoken, stories that drift gently through the water like dreams. The earth is wrapped in a gossamer web of light. At night, from high above, cities glitter like constellations. Street lamps trace glowing rivers. Coastlines twinkle like bracelets of gold. Even the smallest town sends up a whisper of light, a gentle echo of life, thought, and warmth. This human constellation stretches across continents, never fully dark, never fully awake. It is Earth's urban lullaby, flickering softly under clouds, mingling with starlight, and in the space between those lights, forests, deserts, oceans, sleep deeply, cradled in the shadows of the night. Rainbows are sunlight, dreaming in water. When light bends through tiny droplets, it splits into soft arcs of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, blue, indigo, and violet, but you must be standing just right to see one. Rainbows are personal. No two people see exactly the same one. In some places, double rainbows appear, like Earth is exhaling joy in stereo, and sometimes, on very rare nights, you might glimpse a moonbow, a pale rainbow born from moonlight and mist. These arcs don't last long, but they're gentle reminders that even the rain has a secret side of light. The earth is always singing. You just have to slow down to hear it. Wind rustling leaves, waves brushing the shore, crickets chirping in time, a wolf's lonely call under the stars. Even silence has its rhythms. The hush between gusts, the pause before a bird calls again. All together, they form the planet's great nocturne, a lullaby composed of infinite soft voices. If you lie very still and close your eyes, you might feel it in your chest, the deep, patient song of a world at rest, a rhythm as old as time, as near as your next breath. Beneath your feet, entire forests are connected by threads. They call it the Wood Wide Web, a vast, invisible network of fungi connecting trees and plants underground. Through these mycorrhizal threads, trees whisper chemical messages. Send help. I'm thirsty. I am dying. Stronger trees sometimes share water and nutrients with their weaker neighbors. A forest, then, is not just a group of trees. It is a single, breathing, thoughtful organism. It cares in its own way. And while we sleep, the forest continues this quiet conversation. Beneath the soil and under the stars, fog is the earth exhaling slowly. It rolls over fields, rivers, and rooftops. With the grace of breath, soft and damp, it quiets sound and blurs edges. Trees become silhouettes. Roads vanish into mist. Morning seems to hesitate, caught between sleep and waking. In this gray cocoon, the world feels tender, gentle, slower. You might not see far, but that's the point. Fog invites us to pause, to listen closely, to move carefully. It's the earth's way of saying, there's no rush, rest a while longer. The sun will wait. Lightning is the sky remembering how to speak. Most of the time, the sky is quiet, blue, calm, still, but sometimes it remembers its voice. A single flash of light splits the clouds. A deep rumble follows, as if the heavens have something old and important to say. But just as quickly it grows quiet again. The storm passes, the clouds part, and the sky returns to soft silence. Even its wildest moments are brief, like a dream we only half recall. And after the rain, everything glistens, cleansed and still. Even the thunder rests. The earth breathes in cycles, and you are part of its rhythm. The tides rise and fall. Trees inhale carbon and exhale oxygen. Ice forms, melts, reforms. The planet turns and seasons change. Animals migrate, flowers bloom and fade, and within you, your breath echoes this same pulse. In, out, in, out. You are not separate from Earth. You are woven into it, like a thread in a great, silent quilt. Even as you lie still, the rhythm continues. Earth breathes, and so do you. Together, slowly, gently. Some truths don't need to be spoken, only felt in stillness. Like the hush after fresh snow, like the warmth of sunlight on closed eyes. Like the gentle pressure of gravity holding you close to the ground. These are Earth's quiet affirmations. They don't shout. They don't need to. They are always there, waiting patiently for you to notice. And once you do, you'll carry them with you into your dreams, like soft stones in your pocket, You don't have to understand everything. You only have to rest. The earth will take care of the rest. Some islands drift like clouds across the sea. Tectonic plates shift slowly, but they carry entire lands with them. The Hawaiian Islands are born from a hot spot in Earth's crust, each one forming like a gentle puff of steam rising from the ocean floor. As the Pacific Plate glides northwest, it leaves behind a trail of volcanic pearls, one after another, resting on a great blue blanket. Though you don't feel it, those islands are still moving, so slowly it would take millions of years for you to notice. But they move like floating thoughts, resting softly in the sea. There are places on Earth where the sun doesn't rise. Near the poles, in the deep folds of winter, entire weeks pass in darkness. The sun slips beneath the horizon and doesn't return for a long while. But it's not frightening, it's sacred. In this long polar night, the world slows even more. Stars shine longer. The aurora dances freely across the sky, and life too adapts. Creatures nap in long cycles. Trees preserve their energy. Humans light candles and draw closer to warmth. The absence of daylight becomes a kind of cradle, deep, still, and utterly serene. And then, there are days when the sun refuses to set. In Arctic summers, light lingers. Midnight brings not darkness, but soft golds and silvers. The air glows, shadows stretch in strange directions. And though the world is awake, it feels as if it's dreaming. Flowers bloom under starlit sunshine. Birds sing at odd hours. Even your body, confused by the endless light, begins to slow down. The clock means less. Time becomes fluid. In this world, sleep comes not with the sun, but with your own gentle rhythm. A reminder that rest is not about darkness, but surrender. Deep below the surface, caves hold the dreams of stone. In total darkness, far beneath your feet, limestone shapes itself into wonders, drop by drop. Water carves chambers, columns, and curtains. Stalactites reaching down, stalagmites reaching up, as if Earth were stretching in its sleep. The air is still, the temperature never changes. In these places, time moves differently, more slowly, more patiently. Creatures here live in shadow, silent and pale, never needing eyes. These caves are Earth's quiet archives, slow rooms where minerals record their histories in silence and stone. Coral polyps build cities in their sleep. Each night, as warm waves lap over shallow reefs, microscopic coral animals emerge from their hard skeletons and feed in silence. They drift, bloom, and retract. Over centuries, their tiny efforts create entire ecosystems. Their bones become castles. Their colors shine beneath the sunlit sea. Pink, violet, turquoise, and gold. Fish weave through the arches. Sea turtles doze in their alcoves. And even as storms pass overhead, the reef holds still, sleeping, growing, breathing. In every grain of coral sand, there is memory. In every shell, a lullaby. The earth was once a snowball. Long ago, our planet was nearly covered in ice, frozen oceans, white mountains, silence across the continents. It was quiet then, profoundly still, but even then, life found a way. Tiny organisms clung to warm vents in the sea. They waited out the cold. They adapted quietly, and slowly, very slowly, the ice began to melt. The sun returned, rivers awakened, forests grew, and life unfolded again like a long-forgotten song. Even in Earth's coldest chapters, something soft and stubborn endured, a heartbeat beneath the frost. Rocks remember things we never saw. Every layer of sediment is a line in Earth's diary. Ash from ancient volcanoes, pollen from lost forests, bones of forgotten beasts. They all press down, year by year, creating a slow story told in stone. When rivers cut through canyons, they reveal those layers. Reds, oranges, creams. Like the pages of a geologic book, you can stand at the edge of the Grand Canyon and read back millions of years. And though the earth never speaks aloud, it tells its stories anyway, in cliffs, in craters, in the hush of deep time. Rain remembers the clouds it came from. Before it falls to the ground, every raindrop travels a long path. It forms in vapor, huddles with others in a cloud, dances on the wind, and finally lets go. Some droplets fall quickly, others drift sideways. Some never reach the ground at all, but each one carries the memory of sky, of air, of warmth. When it touches the earth, on your face, your window, your garden, it is completing a cycle that may have begun days or even years ago. That soft tap you hear at night is the sound of sky returning home. The earth knows how to wait. Seeds can lie dormant for years, even centuries, before blooming. Deserts can go decades without rain, and then overnight erupt in color. Trees take hundreds of years to reach full height. Rivers cut canyons 1 inch at a time. Nothing on earth is in a rush. It teaches us that slow is sacred, that rest is not laziness but wisdom, that there is beauty in stillness. So, if you feel like you're not moving fast enough, remember, even the tallest mountain was built by dust. Even the stars take their time to rise, and the earth never forgets you are part of it. Your breath is the wind. Your bones are stone. Your blood is salt water. Your heartbeat echoes the rhythm of waves. You are not above this world or outside it. You are within it, shaped by it, held by it. As you sleep tonight, the earth keeps turning. The tides keep rising. The forests keep breathing. And somewhere, something gentle is blooming. You don't have to try. You don't have to know. You only have to let go. Some lakes never ripple. In Antarctica, hidden beneath 2 miles of ice, Lake Vostok rests in silence. It has not seen the sun for millions of years. No wind disturbs its surface. No footsteps press near its shore. And yet, even here, life may persist. Microbes drifting gently through the cold, dreaming in the dark. Across the world, other still lakes mirror the sky. High in the Andes, in the craters of old volcanoes, or nestled in mountain basins, waiting quietly for dawn. Their waters move only in moonlight. They do not rush. They simply hold and reflect. The air above you has no edges. It stretches beyond sight, beyond gravity's gentle grip, blending slowly into space. And yet, it holds you every moment of every day. It presses against your skin, fills your lungs, cushions your thoughts. You cannot see it, but it sings through leaves and rustles through curtains. It brings scents of pine, salt, smoke, and summer rain. It lifts birds, scatters seeds, and cools your face when you've walked too long. Even as you sleep, it surrounds you. Invisible, intimate, kind. Some forests never see the sun. Deep in mountain valleys or on the slopes of steep fjords, there are places where sunlight touches only for a few minutes each day, or not at all for months. Moss carpets the ground, thick and damp. Ferns unfurl in shadows. Trees lean toward what little light reaches through the mist. In these shaded worlds, life continues at its own pace, quieter, softer, less hurried. Owls blink in the hush, salamanders glide through fallen leaves. The darkness here is not cold or empty. It is velvety, full of secrets, like a lullaby with no words. The earth's crust is thinner than you think. Though mountains may tower and valleys stretch wide, the solid surface we walk on is only a sliver of the planet's mass. Beneath it, molten rock swirls, iron flows, pressure builds. We walk across a crust thinner than an apple's skin, and yet it holds oceans, forests, skyscrapers, and dreams. It carries us safely, turning through space like a cradle. Most days, we never think of the fire beneath our feet, but it's there, steady, ancient, patient, humming like a soft drumbeat deep below. There are rivers of air above your head. They're called jet streams, fast-moving currents of wind that circle the globe miles above the ground. They steer storms, shift seasons, and guide migrating birds. Though invisible, they shape the weather that touches your skin. Planes ride them to travel faster. Trees bend in their distant wake. And sometimes, when you see clouds streaked like brushstrokes across the sky, that's the signature of a jet stream, writing letters in the sky that only the earth can read. Glaciers dream in color. Though we think of them as white, many glaciers glow blue, a soft, pale turquoise like frozen breath. The weight of the ice squeezes out air, letting light pass through in a gentle dance. Some glaciers crack softly in the night, shifting like sleepers in bed. Others calve, dropping great chunks into the sea with a sigh, a splash, a lull. Beneath them, ancient rivers flow. They melt slowly, feeding valleys far below. And even as they shrink with time, they leave behind smooth stones, braided streams, and the memory of cold silence. Animals dream too. Birds twitch in their sleep, wings fluttering as if flying through imagined skies. Dogs bark softly, paws paddling through dream meadows. Elephants rumble in low tones while resting, their trunks curled beneath them like long, soft thoughts. In nests, dens, burrows, and caves, animals sleep with the same vulnerability, the same release, the same trust. Somewhere right now, a fox is curled beneath a fallen log. A bear is dreaming beneath a drift of snow, and whales drift vertically in the sea, rising every so often to breathe, then sinking slowly again. Even in sleep, life continues. There is fire beneath the ice. Iceland, Antarctica, Alaska, places where snow falls thick and glaciers tower, also hold volcanoes. Steam rises from frozen fields. Hot springs bubble up beside icy rivers. In these places, Earth shows both her stillness and her fire. She warms the cold from below, as if tucking a heating stone beneath a pillow of snow. Even the coldest places glow softly with heat deep down, and life, strange, resilient, luminous, finds a way to thrive between extremes. A lesson written in lava and frost, that opposites can hold each other gently. The deepest caves hold echoes older than speech. In the darkness, where no sunlight reaches, sound becomes your eyes, drips, distant and steady, wings fluttering in absolute black, your own breath magnified. Caves carry echoes for so long that sometimes you hear yourself return minutes later. Here, time feels slow, stretched. Stalactites take centuries to grow a single inch. Pools lie so still that a single drop becomes music. These places feel untouched, not because they are far away, but because they move at a different rhythm. One beat every 1,000 years. A rhythm you can only hear if you stop and truly listen. And in the stillness of night, Earth feels smaller and more complete. The noise fades, the sky deepens, the ground beneath your bed feels firmer, closer. You remember that the Earth is not something beneath you, but around you, a sphere turning quietly, a companion in space, a home wrapped in sky. And though you lie still in one small corner of it, you belong everywhere. In the rustling leaves, in the glowing oceans, in the sleepy trees and watchful stars. You are a part of Earth's lullaby now, and it is a song meant just for you. Some places on Earth never forget the stars. In the high deserts of Chile, in the stillness of Namibia, on the cold plains of Antarctica, there are skies so clear the Milky Way spills like a river overhead. No city lights, no noise, just the cosmos, gently undisturbed. The stars feel closer in those places. Their shimmer is steady, patient. Looking up, you can almost feel the curve of the earth beneath you, tilting back so the heavens can pour in. These are places where the night sky doesn't just sparkle. It listens, and it watches over you as you rest, as it always has. Some flowers only bloom in darkness. Moonflowers unfurl at twilight, their petals pale and glowing under the stars. Night-blooming jasmine releases its scent as the world hushes. Evening primrose, tuberose, and the mysterious queen of the night. They open not for the sun, but for the moon. Their blossoms are brief, their beauty quiet. They do not shout, they wait, and for one fleeting night, they become the centerpiece of the dark. Even in sleep, Earth celebrates, with petals, perfume, and light that needs no sun. The Earth's magnetic field is like a soft, invisible shield. It begins deep inside the planet, where molten iron moves slowly, creating a quiet current that protects us from solar winds. Though we cannot see it, birds and sea turtles can sense it, using it to find their way across oceans and continents. This field wraps around us like a cocoon, gentle but strong, guiding and guarding. Even when you sleep, it hums, a field of care, a reminder that some of the strongest things in life are the ones you never feel at all. There is a river in the sky. Above the Amazon rainforest, moisture rises with the tree's breath. This vapor forms an atmospheric river, a massive flowing plume of water vapor that stretches across the sky. It travels thousands of miles, raining on faraway lands, feeding crops and forests in distant places. The trees don't just grow, they give, and the sky, in turn, carries their offering across the world. You may have felt their gift in the rain on your window, never knowing it came from the tree half a world away. Earth is always giving quietly. Some sands sing. In a few rare deserts, in China, Chile, California, dunes emit a low musical hum. When the grains slide just right, the sound is deep and soft, like a cello played by the wind. Scientists call it booming sand, but it doesn't boom. It resonates, a song made not with strings, but with millions of tiny movements all falling together. To hear it, you must be still. You must be there in that moment when the earth decides to sing. A lullaby you won't forget, even after the sound is gone. Ice holds time like a breath. In the frozen layers of glaciers and polar ice sheets, bubbles of ancient air sleep in silence. Trapped inside are whispers from thousands, even millions of years ago. Scientists can read these bubbles like notes in a bottle. What was the world like then? What trees grew? What skies hung overhead? The ice remembers, and when it finally melts, it releases those secrets in a single exhale. Even the coldest corners of Earth hold warmth, because they hold memory, and memory, like dreams, lingers long after the moment has passed. Lightning can strike the same place twice, and often does. It remembers where the path is easiest. It follows the trails it knows. High trees, tall towers, mountain tops. What seems random is often simply familiar. Even electricity seeks comfort, familiarity, ease. A bolt can travel miles in a second, heat the air to 5 times the temperature of the sun, and still, return home. The skies above you may flash and thunder, but even lightning, fierce as it may be, finds its way back to where it began, like a restless mind, always circling back to a place of peace. There are rivers that vanish and reappear, in karst landscapes where limestone rules the earth. Rivers sometimes sink into caves, traveling unseen beneath your feet, before bursting forth again in a green valley or cliffside spring. One moment, a bubbling stream, the next, gone. But it's not lost, it's just underground, resting, hidden, but flowing still. These rivers remind us that just because you can't see movement doesn't mean it isn't happening. Some things grow in silence. Some journeys are meant to be unseen. Clouds weigh more than they look. The average cumulus cloud holds hundreds of tons of water, fluffy, light, drifting overhead, and yet filled with invisible weight. They float because the water is spread wide, suspended in air. Still, they carry so much as you lie beneath them, watching their shapes shift and scatter. You're lying under something vast, something heavy, and yet it drifts. It holds that burden gently, proof that even the heaviest things can move with grace. And the earth is always turning, even when you forget. As you sleep, it spins you gently through space. At 1,000 miles per hour, it tilts you closer to the sun, then slowly away. It carries you through night and into morning, and you feel none of it. The bed doesn't shake, the stars don't blur. It's the calmest movement you've ever known, a silent ride through the universe. You're not holding on. The earth is holding you. Some plants move without haste. The sunflower turns its face with the day. The mimosa folds its leaves when touched. The moonflower opens only at dusk, and even the tiniest sprout curves toward the light without needing to rush. Growth is quiet. Movement is patient. Plants teach us that life doesn't need to be fast to be full. In gardens, meadows, and forests, the earth unfolds gently, and as you lie still, you are part of that soft unfolding. The world moves, even when you don't. Beneath your feet, Earth's core is spinning too. Inside the planet, past the crust, the mantle, the molten outer core, lies a solid iron sphere. It spins slowly and separately deep within. This hidden heart creates the planet's magnetic field, helping birds migrate and compasses point north. We cannot see it, but we know it's there. Quiet, relentless, steady, like your own heart. It keeps turning while you sleep, holding you, anchoring you, unseen but essential. Some animals glow in the dark, in deep oceans, in damp caves, even on forest floors. Creatures carry their own light. Fireflies blink through summer nights. Certain mushrooms shine in green halos under leaf litter. In the sea, jellyfish, squid, and plankton bloom with bioluminescence. Blue, green, sometimes violet. These lights are not for us, but we are lucky to witness them. They flicker without wires, without heat. A language of light meant only for the wild, a gentle glow in the world's quietest places. Mountains are not eternal. They breathe. Though they seem solid, mountains rise and fall over millions of years. Some are born from plates colliding, others carved by rivers or glaciers. They grow, they erode, they change with weather, with seasons, with the slow breath of Earth's crust. And while they sleep beneath stars, ice creeps down their slopes, trees root in their ridges, and snow catches the light of dawn. Mountains move so slowly that we think they don't, but they do, quietly, endlessly. Earthquakes begin with a pause, a moment of stillness, of waiting, then a ripple through stone. Most quakes are small, unnoticed, a tiny adjustment, a sigh in the rock, but sometimes they speak louder, reminding us that beneath the still ground is motion, tension, life. Afterward, the world is changed, subtly or deeply. Still, the planet calms again. The earth exhales, birds return to trees, streams find new paths, and the silence afterward is a hush of deep memory, like the quiet after tears. There are forests at the bottom of the sea. They are made of kelp, rising like green ribbons toward the light. Fish glide through their swaying halls. Sea otters wrap themselves in fronds to sleep. These forests absorb carbon, soften waves, cradle life. They bloom without soil. They dance with every current, and in their gentle movement, they remind us that ecosystems are everywhere, not just where we walk, but far below, where the sun barely reaches. Life, even unseen, is always growing. Some stones fall from the sky. Meteorites, fragments of ancient space, land on our planet every day. Some burn away, streaking as shooting stars. Others survive the fall, embedding in deserts, ice, or fields. Each one is older than Earth itself, born in the beginning of the solar system. You may have touched a piece of one without knowing. These celestial stones are messengers, not of danger, but of age, of vastness, of how small and how special our world really is. The moon is drifting away. Each year, the moon moves just a tiny bit farther from the Earth, about 1.5 inches. It was once closer. Its tides were stronger, its light brighter. But even as it drifts, it still affects us. In our oceans, our sleep, our cycles, it turns its same face toward us always, loyal even as it travels, and we look up at it with the same wonder, a companion in the night, always leaving, never gone. There are lakes that explode. In rare places, gases build up silently beneath the water, like at Lake Neos in Cameroon, and one day, without warning, the lake releases its breath. Carbon dioxide rises, invisible and dense, spreading through the air. It's a reminder that still water can hold deep tension. But since then, scientists have learned to install vents, gentle ways for the lake to exhale more often, more softly. Even lakes like us need release, gentle, steady, safe, and Earth itself was once molten. Billions of years ago, our planet was a ball of fire and metal. Slowly it cooled, a crust formed, oceans gathered, atmosphere built, life arrived. Sleep came later, but the fire never left. It lives in the core, the volcano, the heat beneath your feet. And from that fire grew forests, mountains, dreams. Earth is not finished. It is still forming, still shaping itself. Even now, as you rest, so does it, glowing quietly from the inside out. Some creatures never stop drifting. The jellyfish has no bones, no brain, no heart, just a soft body pulsing slowly through the sea. It does not fight the current, it moves with it, glowing quietly, like a thought passing through water. For millions of years, jellyfish have floated this way, through warm seas and cold. They do not worry where the current takes them. They simply drift, a reminder. Not all movement needs direction. Sometimes floating is enough. Sand is a record of ancient things. Each grain was once a mountain, a shell, a coral reef, a volcanic spark. It was broken, carried, smoothed, and dropped again and again. Beaches are not made in years, but in ages. You walk on the past without even knowing, and when the tide comes in, it takes some away and brings some back, mixing time like paint on a palette. The ground beneath your feet is old and soft and endlessly renewed. Frogs sing at night, but they are not alone. Crickets chirp, owls call, the wind sighs through reeds. In the dusk chorus, every sound fits like a puzzle piece. Each creature has its place, its timing, its note, and in the quiet hours, their music becomes a lullaby for the land, rising, falling, pausing. Like a breath, the world hums, and if you lie still, it hums with you. The night is not silent, it's sleeping. Some places are so quiet, they ring. In an anechoic chamber, a room designed to block all sound, you can hear your own heartbeat, your breath, even the movement of your joints. It's said that in deep silence, the body becomes louder, but outside, in the wild, silence is different. It's full of soft things, wind, wing beats, distant water. Silence isn't empty. It's spacious. It's sacred. A place where the mind can rest without trying. There is color in the dark. Bioluminescent beaches, the green flash at sunset, aurora borealis, curtains of light that ripple across polar skies. These are not tricks of the eye. They are Earth's quiet spectacles. No fanfare, no audience needed, just beauty waiting to be witnessed. Even in darkness, the planet shines, sometimes more brightly than in day dawn. Trees communicate in more ways than one. Through scent, through touch, through underground networks, they send warnings, comfort, direction. A tree stressed by drought may release a scent to alert others. A wounded trunk may trigger chemical changes in neighbors. It's not speech, but it is conversation, and it all happens slowly. So slowly we miss it, unless we listen differently. Trees are not loud, they are patient, and when they speak, it is with deep care. Some islands are made of bones. Coral atolls begin with tiny animals, building, layering, dying, growing. Over centuries, their skeletons form reefs, then lagoons, then land. Palms grow, birds arrive, humans follow. You may build a house on one, walk barefoot on one, never knowing that beneath you lie the white bones of 1,000 generations of coral. Not lost, but transformed. Earth builds beauty from every ending. There are rains that smell like memory. The first rain after a dry spell brings petrichor, the scent of dust, meeting water. It is earthy, sharp, sweet. Scientists say it comes from oils and plants, from soil bacteria waking up. But for most, it smells like something else. A forgotten day, a barefoot run, a story half remembered. Earth has no voice, but it knows how to stir memory. And sometimes memory smells like rain. Every place on Earth has been something else. Mountains were once seabeds, deserts were once jungles, cities were once ice. The land beneath your pillow may have once held mammoths, or been covered in fern, or sunk beneath warm waves. Earth is not fixed. It transforms, quietly, constantly. And you too are part of that transformation. Every cell in your body was once stardust. You change, just like the land. Slowly, softly, beautifully. And Earth is still dreaming. Even now, as you lie still, it turns beneath the galaxies. It grows without noise. It holds oceans, forests, cities, and you with equal care. The wind does not rush. The rivers do not demand. The planet asks nothing of you tonight, except this: rest, breathe, trust. You are here, and that is enough. You are on Earth, and Earth is holding you. Gently, always. Not all journeys have destinations. Some rivers never reach the sea. They disappear into desert sands, into salt flats, into the wide arms of Earth. But they are no less real. They carve canyons, nourish oases, feed life along the way. You don't have to arrive anywhere tonight. Your only task is to drift, like water in no hurry. Clouds sometimes forget themselves. They gather, swell, scatter. They form towers and curtains, halos and shadows. But sometimes they blur, dissolve, fade into mist. They don't cling to shape. They let the wind reshape them. Maybe you too can forget your shape tonight. Just for a while. Become breath. Become stillness. There are stones that move without legs. In Death Valley, heavy rocks glide slowly across the desert floor, leaving trails behind them in the dry, cracked earth. No one sees them move, but they do, pushed by thin layers of ice and wind, moved by invisible forces, like thoughts across your mind. Quiet, purposeful, unseen. Even shadows can be soft. The shade of a tree, the silhouette of a sleeping cat, the dim light at the edge of sleep. Shadows are not absences. They're gentle filters, invitations to rest. The earth makes room for shadows, and so can you. You don't need full light to feel safe. You don't need answers to feel calm. The earth doesn't measure time in minutes. It uses rings in trees, layers in rock, migration paths, ice cores, moon cycles. You are allowed to stop counting. You are allowed to step out of the clock, breathe outside the numbers, let time move like tides, not ticks. There are colors only animals can see. Bees see ultraviolet. Shrimp see 16 kinds of color. Birds see hues beyond our comprehension. Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it isn't there. Wonder is everywhere, even in the invisible. Some animals sleep while flying. Frigate birds, albatrosses. They glide with half their brain asleep, high above oceans. They don't land for weeks. They rest midair, rocked by the wind. Sleep is not always stillness. Sometimes it is trust. In the air, in your wings, in the wind to hold you gently. There are forests growing on other forests. In rainforests, trees host entire ecosystems in their branches. Mosses, orchids, frogs, and ferns that never touch the ground. Life builds on life. Rest builds on rest. Even when you think you're done growing, you're just becoming someone new. On the surface of who you once were. The night is not empty. It's full of movement, tides turning, roots stretching, stars shifting, seeds stirring in soil. It may feel still, but it is not. Earth never stops. It just gets quieter. And that quiet, that hum, is the world's way of holding you, rocking you, singing to you. And you belong here, not because you earned it, not because you proved anything, but because you are part of this planet, this rhythm, this softness. Your breath is wind. Your sleep is sacred. You are not separate. You are home. Even after our list ends, the earth continues. Because the planet never runs out of softness, never runs out of wonder. Every breath you take is still wrapped in air, filtered by trees. Every night you rest is still held by the gravity that tucks you in. The earth's lullaby has no final verse. It repeats, like waves returning to shore. Familiar, but never the same. There are truths we didn't number, but they're still true. Like how moss prefers the quiet side of trees, or how some birds can see ultraviolet light, painting the world in colors we'll never name, or how whales whisper to each other across oceans, songs that shift with the seasons, or how snowflakes, though each unique, all carry the same geometry of stillness. The earth doesn't care if we count its wonders. It offers them freely, again and again. The soil beneath your home contains more microbes than stars in the sky. And yet, you never feel crowded. The ground does not overwhelm you. It simply holds you, quietly. Some butterflies remember places they've never been, because memory is not always learned. Sometimes it's inherited. Monarchs return to the same forests their great-grandparents once knew, as if the trees called them back, as if wings remember the wind. And maybe, as you sleep, something in you remembers, too. The rustle of grass, the sound of distant rain, the feeling of being cradled by a turning planet. There are forests that burn and grow back stronger. Fire is not always an ending. Sometimes it clears the way for renewal. Seeds crack open in heat, soil receives new nutrients, ash becomes nourishment. The forest may look still, but it is already planning its return. Just because something changes shape doesn't mean it is gone. Even after hard seasons, green things grow again. Some stones hum in the sun. Pick up a smooth river rock on a summer afternoon. Feel its warmth. It has been resting, absorbing, holding light for hours. Not shining, not glowing, just warm, deeply, gently. Earth holds heat like it holds memory. Close, quiet, without needing to explain. The ocean floor is more mysterious than the surface of the moon. And still, life thrives there, in crushing pressure and darkness. Creatures with glowing lures, transparent skin, spiral shells. They do not rush. They do not envy the sky. They exist in a world shaped entirely by patience. What looks impossible from above is ordinary down below. A lesson, perhaps, in how to exist where no one thought you could. You have never really left the earth. Even if you fly, even if you dream, even if your thoughts stretch far beyond the clouds, you are tethered gently by breath and blood and gravity. You belong here, not as a visitor but as a part, not as an observer but as a thread. The earth does not ask for perfection. It asks only that you rest when you need to, that you notice the light through leaves, that you return again and again to stillness. The world does not need more doing. It needs more being, more noticing, more quiet. And in this quiet, where you are now, the most beautiful truths arrive, not in thunder, not in fanfare, but in hush. The kind of hush that the earth has always known. As the earth turns in gentle silence under the same sky that watches over you, feel its steady presence carry you deeper into comfort. Every mountain breathes slowly. Every wave lays gently against the shore. and the forests whisper their love of quiet. You are part of the story now. Each heartbeat in your chest is in rhythm with Earth's. Close your eyes and imagine the soft dance of shadows on moonlit water, the pattern of stars overhead like an endless quilt. Feel yourself cradled by the planet's history. Trillions of lives and stories lie beneath your feet and around you. You share a home with every bird, tree, and grain of sand. In this moment, Earth's whole heart is open to you, a constant companion wrapping you in serenity. Let go of all thought and float on a gentle breeze through the night. Let the lullabies of nature, the hush of leaves, the distant song of crickets, the slow pulse of the tides guide you into dreams. There is nothing to chase, nothing to worry about. Each truth you've heard is now a gentle affirmation, grounding you in peace. The cool night air carries Earth's quiet promise to you. Now, as you drift further, know that this blue world will spin on, soft and steady. The sun will rise again and bring a new day. But for now, night is here. Allow every truth to wash over you like a warm, velvety tide, until only calm remains. Good night, dear friend. Good night, little planet. And good night to you. May these words be the wings of gentle dreams that carry you beyond, awake in Earth's tender embrace. Rest fully and deeply, safe and beloved. The world is at peace, and so are you. Sweet dreams.